Hey guys, Tom and Self here, continuing my shotgun probability series, bringing it to Call of Duty Ghosts. With most weapons, we can look at time to kill as one way to evaluate their effectiveness. That doesn't work for shotguns, however, and so we have to look at the probability of getting a kill. So we take the accuracy of the player out of the equation when trying to compare the effectiveness of the guns, their attachments, things like steady aim, and all that good stuff. In MW3 and Black Ops 2, I did many hundreds of tests to come up with a reasonable approximation that a single pellet hits a player given the radius of the spread at the target distance. We assume the pellets are independent of each other, and well, we roll on from there. There's more details in the Call of Duty vs. Battlefield comparison video I did on shotguns and hipfire if you want it. First, I need to give a big thanks to Marvel 4 for the gun stats. If they do change them, I will try to update things, so I'm keeping everything in a Google Doc spreadsheet you can access. There is a link in the description. But for now, here are the numbers that I have. There are 4 primary shotguns in Ghost, 2 pump actions, 2 semi-autos. They have a range of rates of fire and spreads, both from the hip and while ADS. The ADS spreads aren't quite as tight as those in Black Ops 2, but still they're usually tighter than you'd get if you just use steady aim. This helps prevent us from getting in a situation where you're more accurate from the hip than you are aiming down sights, because that's just kind of weird for a modern military shooter. Anyway, before we get back into that whole spread thing, let's take a look at damage. The FP6 does a whopping 100 damage at point-blank range, while the Bulldog comes in at the bottom. The TAC-12 has the best reach, while the MTS-255 has a little bit more close-range punch, but otherwise falls off like the Bulldog. But instead of damage, let's look at hits to kill. All of the shotguns have 8 pellets in each shell, and so this comparison's fairly useful, and especially shows off how the TAC-12 has a lot better reach than the other guns. Okay, but now we need to make the connection between damage, spread, and lethality. I'm going to put the charts up with all the lines graphed at the same time. The colors are the same as the previous two. It can be a little confusing at first, but trust me, it all makes sense. First, the probability of a kill just on the first shot, which is what shotguns rely on. The thick lines are for hipfire, the thinner dotted lines are for the ADS, and they have different spreads, and so there's a different probability of getting a kill there. Not surprisingly, the semi-autos don't do as well as the pump actions on the first shots, but for hipfire, the Bulldog seems better than the MTS, while ADS it's the other way around. The TAC-12 is generally better than the FP6, especially at further ranges, except for a short bit between 5 and 6 meters. When it comes to follow-up shots, the question becomes, well, how many shots do you want to worry about? For the pump actions, it's obviously 2. For the Bulldog, 3 seems a reasonable number, but for the MTS, with only 5 shells, I was only willing to give it 2 shots. It also has a slower rate of fire to start with, so I think 2 is a reasonable number here. The Bulldog is the clear spray and pray winner, however the TAC-12 is pretty damn impressive when ADS'd. While I think I see the role they were going for with the MTS, the revolver shotgun, I just don't think it's that good. You can't put extended mags on it, you can on the Bulldog, and so I think the Bulldog's probably the best shotgun. And again, I see where they were going with the FP6 being wider spread, more up-close damage, but I think the TAC-12 completely outclasses it. I don't think there's any reason to use the FP6 over the TAC-12, and the TAC-12 is a lot of fun. We'll make some further comparisons to other guns later, but for now, let me talk about what's been working for me with shotguns. The first thing I have to say is that it seems to be kind of map dependent. One of the maps that's been really good to me has been Tremors. Just getting in the buildings around the middle of the map, it seems like most every game mode, from kill confirmed to domination, can usually make a shotgun work out fairly well. Strike Zone, on the other hand, it seems so cramped that you get in a lane and people are watching it and it's really hard to move around. On the other extreme, Octane is big enough and has enough routes that as a shotgunner, I can get some stuff done. I can get around on a flank and get to someone from behind, or I can just plain get up really close with all the cover that's in that map and I can make a shotgun work there. As far as perks go, I go for mobility. Might not necessarily be the most effective way to go, but it is surely the most fun. Simply unchecked aggression. Sometimes it just will not work, but when it does, it is an absolute rush. So that means ready up for faster shooting after sprinting, marathon for unlimited sprinting, and agility for faster movement speed. There's really nothing stealthy about this approach, but it's a shotgun, it's loud, it's intimidating, it's surprising how often people will charge you even though they know you have a shotgun, and again, it's just a lot of fun. With a setup like this, your best defense is to keep moving. You get in a gunfight, keep strafing. You think someone's around, keep running around corners, don't let them draw their sights up on you. It'll give you the opportunity to wait to ambush them around the corner, or just keep running and try to make it on a flank, or let a teammate shoot the guy instead, especially if you can make a call out. My next perk recommendation is Ping, and I see that as kind of a crazy, ballsy choice, because normally I would think, oh, you'd want a suppressor, so when you're in there near the guys and Ping is actually doing something useful, they don't know you're coming. But we're running an unsuppressed shotgun here, so yeah, you're kind of inviting them to charge you, and hoping that you can just make the shotgun work for you. It's crazy, but it pays off sometimes, and then it is awesome, it's fun, and you get lots of crazy clips like this stuff. For a while, I tried running a suppressed pistol secondary. It just was not working out for me, however. I'd keep getting into head-to-head gunfights, or I'd get a couple shots into a guy, he'd turn, look at me, and kill me. So in the end, I found that my best course of action was actually just to either run away completely and try and flank the guy who I'd seen, or to try and get some cover and then work forward, get closer, close the gap, and get in range for the shotgun. If you've been keeping track, that leaves us with 3 more points to spend, and what I like to take is a smoke grenade, gives me some more movement options around the map, and then Incog. Thermal snipers, say hello to your worst nightmare. At the same time, I do need to tell my team that I'm the one throwing the smoke, and if they start seeing kill cams where the enemies are using lots of thermal sights, lots of tracker sights, they should either let me know what's up, let me go kill the guy, or if he keeps doing it, that I just need to stop throwing smoke in that area. But smoke is pretty useful, can help you take objectives, and being able to run through it without those tracker sights or thermal sights being able to see you makes you a big threat. As far as strike packages go, while it's possible to run in there, chain together a whole bunch of kills, and get pretty far along in an assault strike package and make it pay off, you're going to be putting yourself in positions where there is just no way out, and you're going to die. Then the assault streaks that you had up at that point stop counting towards more assault streaks, and well, you just get cut off, so I go for support. The Night Owl, basically a portable radar that follows you around, is a shotgunner's best friend. It's really good for close range stuff. The other thing is, when you combine it with smoke on a point, enemies like to throw their explosives and everything on it, the Night Owl will just eat all of those. A trophy would only take 2, the Night Owl just chews through all of them. It's fantastic. I also really like the Oracle. You mix it in with the smoke. If I'm able to see enemies and they can't see me, yeah, I think we've got some fun stuff going on then. That just leaves the questions of what to take for the third one. If you're going all the way to the Oracle, it makes sense to take something like a ground jammer or air superiority, but ballistic vests are pretty good too, and if you only go to the Night Owl, then I'd say ballistic vests are a must for your shotgunner. So how does the TAC-12 in Ghosts stack up with other shotguns in the Call of Duty series? I'm going to tell you it's in the same tier as the W1200 from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Let's take a look at those base damage stats, where the TAC-12 has a clear advantage, doing more damage up close, more damage at range, and while both guns do have the same maximum range. The TAC-12 also has the option of a muzzle brake to extend its range. While the W1200 can equip stopping power, it also might run into juggernauts. The TAC-12's ADS spread is the same as the base spread of the W1200. However, the TAC-12 has an adaptive choke, while the W1200 has basically a reverse adaptive choke. The W1200 could use steady aim to further tighten the spread and make it more effective at the longer ranges, make up for that slightly lower damage, but that would also require being more accurate in close range of combat and make the gun more difficult to use. Just based on the gun stats, I'm going to say the TAC-12 is the more effective and easier to use gun. You have to get in discussions of how effective the other guns are, how the maps are designed, before you could make a further comparison, but that's far more a subjective kind of thing. The one advantage I could really give to the W1200 is that if it had stopping power and the target doesn't have Juggernaut, then there's a range about 5 to 10 meters where the TAC-12 has a bit much spread, it's not as reliable a kill, and the W1200 tighter spread and more damage at that range given the stopping power situation. That really is the one frustration with the TAC-12. You can be fairly close, pretty much on target, and then not get the one-shot kill. Now remember, the pellet density goes up towards the middle of the spread, so being more accurate does still pay off, but you won't always get the kill even at those middle ranges for a shotgun. Okay, one more thing, let's add the dual wield P226 here. I'm assuming it has the same stats as the single wield. You got one shot from each gun, not terribly effective. You have to hit with both shots. It's a 2-hit kill out to a fair distance, but you get 3 shots out of both guns. That's pretty scary stuff. I mean, it's not quite primary shotgun level, but as a backup weapon, dual wield pistols, pretty good. That was just a bit of a dry technical commentary, but I have to say I had a ton of fun using the shotguns here. I think it shows in the clips just how crazy they are as I'm running around. I had an absolute blast with this. Okay guys, I want to thank you for watching. I hope it was interesting, I hope it was useful. Remember to check out the links in the description below, and I will see you next time.